There's road rage in most places in the world. There's people doing lunatic things because of the stress of driving, and I think I've overcome a lot of those reactive emotions. And I was talking to my girlfriend about it yesterday in Las Vegas. I noticed like it's a bit more apparent compared to other areas I've been in. Like it's a bit more aggressive with the driving, but to take a step back and seek to understand what's going on there, I would say more often than not, the people who are allowing driving or the other people driving to get under their skin to like create such an emotional outburst, whether it be like honking on the horn aggressively or like getting out of the car and fighting them. And then I guess recently there was an incident where like somebody put out a knife, somebody put out a gun, and like to get to that level, I would say that that is showing somebody with the untrained brain. If you don't have the discipline to maybe read, like I'm about to read right now, but like my every day or every other day, it's like one of the first things in the morning is I get up and read. You have to set aside maybe other things you want to do, and you're training your brain and you're training yourself that I need to do this. That's like a trained brain. Or you're putting aside time to work out, or you're putting aside time to consistently eat a specific nutrition that is beneficial for your overall being, and it may not be beneficial for your bullshit temporary mouth pleasure. And those help to create second thoughts. We could say when you're driving and something does happen, it's almost impossible for me to get mad. I have this second thought, and I guess deep within the consciousness of my mind, I I know that people go through things, and people aren't the smartest at adapting, but to allow them to take so much energy from you and emotion from you, like what does that say about your self-value when you have an untrained brain? It's evident you have an untrained brain. So take that into consideration. Man, I don't know. I've come to this epiphany like a while ago. The maybe like something like 10 years ago, or even further. Like it's nearly impossible for me to get mad driving. And check this out too. If you feel like whatever, you're successful in a lot of different areas, and like this doesn't like whatever, you can handle this flaw of getting angry while you're driving, then I would tell you, then like why don't you hire a driver? Why don't you have Uber driving you around if it's still an issue for you? Why would you allow your energy to leak into something so monotonous and minimal like driving? Like anybody could do it, and you could delegate that task to somebody else. I love being driven, and I just tell my Uber drivers or whomever, like I'm gonna have headphones on. I'm gonna be listening to a business meeting during the drive, and I do whatever I need to do in silence with good focus, and I love that. I could get a lot of things done in a day if I'm being driven, especially rather than filling that time up dealing with other people on the road. Like, why don't you just delegate that to somebody else? If you find yourself being emotionally triggered and you haven't trained your brain strong enough to handle the unknowns of the road,